And welcome back to Let's Play Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga. Last time we fought the human form of Beelzebub. This time we're heading on to our actual objective, the Karma Temple. Now like I said, there are two side areas for us to explore at this point, but I don't really want to go to them just because we don't have the skills to have a very good chance of succeeding at the bosses at the end of them, and that would necessitate some grinding, so what I'm planning to do is to get halfway up the Karma Temple and then head out for those areas once I'm reasonably confident that I have the skills that I need, or I can just more easily do the grinding at that point. But, as you can see, unlike the before, the guards are not allowing anybody to pass. In fact, they are quite violent about it. Now, for our assault on the Karma Temple, I've got the original lineup here. Surf, Heat, and Argilla. Figured it would be appropriate, and actually, before we head on, I do want to make sure that Cielo and Gale are still getting their share of karma. They only have shared karma, but they're ahead in levels anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. And plus, if I do end up having to do a little grinding, they'll just get ahead in that way anyway. We came here to find Sarah, and you are going to get out of our way. So, we've got a fight against the Karma Temple guards. These guys aren't too terribly interesting. They nullify physical attacks, and they can cast Revert to turn your party members back to human, but otherwise they're not too threatening. Surf is set up to cast really powerful fire magic, since that's just going to be the best thing he can do. Heat's only got physical, so he's pretty dead weight here. Argilla, she's farthest along on force, so I'm just going to have her use powered up Xandines. And as you can see, I'm doing pretty good there. These guys must be resistant to fire. Oof. I actually was not aware that Impale was a wind elemental spell. Okay. But we've got this guy in hand, so no need to worry about that. And these first guards that are just here to introduce them to you, they aren't terribly threatening, so don't worry too much going forward. We will be able to encounter them normally, but they are no big deal. I haven't really gotten any bonus stats for Surf in a while, now that I think about it. Been rather unlucky in that regard. Medea Rahan is still a ways off on the Mantra Grid, so we're stuck with Medea Rama for now, but honestly, with Surf and Argilla casting it, they have enough magic to make it almost as good as full healing, really. Also, this is not a voice-acted cutscene, so I have no problem yammering over it. Looks like Sarah holds some sway with the Karma Temple guards. Huh. You know, that's the same thing that we heard from Colonel Beck, the Cyber Shaman, and Mother? Weird. Looks like Sarah does not want us to catch up with her. Now, even though she said she does not want the guards to kill us, they will duly ignore that order once we get into actual fights with them. Yeah, we did win the war. So it's probably Sarah, and I have to imagine Angel has something to do with it also. I don't know if that's a good idea, Sarah. Heat is a very simple-minded individual. Now, before we head up here, we've got this guy standing over here. James Mason, huh? Yeah, we can do that. No problem, buddy. Huh. He must have been severely injured. Well, considering that he was past the guards, he probably got attacked by them. But that is a side quest trigger for Digital Devil Saga 2. Talk to that guy and accept his request, and it'll activate a side quest in the second game. Now, I'm just going to tell you right here, I am pretty confident on the file that I'm actually going to be importing. I completely forgot to do that. Whoopsie! Now, it's not a huge deal to forget that. What it results in is getting a very good amount of money in the early game, but it's not an absolutely critical amount. I think this is just a pan over, so I'll just keep going. And I'm going to be making just a quick file with the clear data from this run anyway, just to get that, so it's no big deal. I'll still show off what you could get from it, but in the actual playthrough, that will not be, that quest will not be active, so we will not be able to get the reward from it. Let's see here. I was just making sure, these guys must resist fire. I actually did not know that. Get out of our way. Let's try out one of his other spells, I guess, since they gimp the damage so much. We'll just do Bufudine. Should still deal good damage, because, oh, actually pretty lousy damage. Never mind. And just nail him with fire. Yeah, this has just got me really curious. What about Pterodine? Okay, I think they might just be resistant to ice and fire, or at least slightly resistant. Whatever, this all works out anyway. Those guys were no thing. Not bad money either. We're gonna need a lot of money. You got some really expensive mantras to master. Now, as I established in the previous video, the main things I'm gonna be working toward is Null Death on Surf, Cielo, Gale. They're elemental resistant, and I'm going to try to get Fizz resist onto everyone just because that's a generally useful skill. Other things that I want to say is I mentioned that the file that I'm going to be importing for when I get to the second game, I have actually completely finished with that file. I've gotten all the things I need to get, aside from that side quest I mentioned, I've gotten all the things I need to unlock all the extras in Digital Devil Saga 2, including beating every single bonus boss in the game, and I already have the video for the final bonus boss recorded, so I'll be able to throw that together quick enough once we actually get to it. Now, Sarah has gone up the elevator, so we gotta get after her. I'm sure absolutely nothing could go wrong with this. Actually, I just gotta remember to, I think I forgot to set a certain skill on Argilla, and yes I did. I want her to have Null Panic. I haven't brought attention to this, but I've also got Surf equipped with Null Nerve. I've also got Heat set up with Secunda, not because I plan on using that skill too much, but because this party does not have actual access to Deikaja without combo skills. So we're going to need that if we want to actually use it, which it may come up every now and again. And yeah, you didn't think it would be that easy. Our elevator was sabotaged to go the other way, although thankfully it did not drop us with terminal velocity. Oh, where are we now? The Sea of Milk, huh? Huh. Destroyed Ashuras? What does that mean? This has gotten very strange very quickly. Ah, so... And that explains why the rookies are also all adults, so people are just generated in this world fully grown. Ah, okay, I see what's going on here. So these are the discarded remains of either people who were killed in the junkyard or maybe just not even properly finished. So this is where everybody's coming from. Yeah, those are valid questions, Cielo. Yeah, I'm with you there, Heat. We gotta catch up with her. This place is definitely rubbing me the wrong way. Of course, it's not going to be as simple as that. Alright, what do we got here? Well, aren't you a biggin? Multi-armed and dangerous, also. Well, you're gonna have to make us. And, of course, we've got our first boss fight right out of the gate. This is a bit of a boss bonanza area, as you'd probably imagine. Now, Vasuki, easily the least threatening of them all, because Vasuki actually has a weakness. So, we'll just have Heat contribute some light damage here. Yeah, talk about light damage. Don't worry, Heat will have his chance to shine once we're getting into regular encounters and his physical attacks actually mean something. And may as well Secunda, just to get a little bit of a chance of dodging stuff. Nice. Himalaya, as you can probably imagine from the animation, is a powerful ice attack, so it's fairly fortunate for us that he dodged that. Alright, and I don't think we need another Makikaja, so we'll just go in on the damage now. There we go. This adds a pretty considerable chance that we'll be able to dodge her here. Nice. Gonna have to do some healing. May as well get another Secunda going. And we'll have Argilla do the healing, since her doing it should be fine enough. There we go. And Heat, I guess you can just stay there and look pretty for the most part. Go for a punch, just to not waste his HP. Yeah, I figured she had access to at least one of that, but we've already got this fight in the bag. Yeah. We'll just go for the kill here. Another Xandine, and one more Agudine should finish it off if this doesn't, and it did. Alrighty. Good luck gravy, I'd say. And we get a great chopper for our efforts, and a boatload of money, man. We're doing good on that. Alright, Gale is up to Mahama now. We're also gonna have to get the death mantras maxed out after a point. Alright, with that joker out of the way, let's take this elevator. Now, will this one take us all the way to the top? Of course not, don't be silly. Once we get out of the Sea of Milk, we find ourselves at negative 492 feet. So yeah, we got quite a bit of ways to hike up. Probably going to actually master a couple more mantras after the next random encounter we get in, so probably won't get too far from this terminal. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do this because it's cheaper. And what's everybody else working on? Yeah. Alright. Let's just take a few steps and no doubt get into an encounter. Actually, you know what? We're so close to maxing out some of our mantras here. Let's just mess around a little bit. I can easily damage some stuff and just consume it, and the game is messing around with us. Let's see some of the enemies we can get into here, and these are, of course, more Karma Temple soldiers, but these guys are considerably less threatening than the ones we come across before. As you can see, that is pretty close to killing them right there. Well, now these guys will get a chance to flex a little bit. Yes, here's the first instance of Ma Revert, and as you can see, it is pretty annoying. And Impale, that is no threat to Surf. Alright, let's see, what items do we have here? Firebomb, this should do it. There we go. Nothing to it. Alright. And that accomplished the goal that I was going for, so let's get set on our next set of mantras. Set on our next set. Okay, Surf, we'll do Seraphim, and then you can work on the final death skill. Argilla, what do I want you to work on? Do I want to get her, nah, it's a little too expensive at this point. We'll get her set up on Agudine, just for more coverage. There we go. And that'll probably cover us until we get to the next terminal. Nice thing about Cielo not having an elemental weakness is that once he gets Evil Godmaster, he'll basically be where I want him for the rest of the game. I'll probably push him more towards some healing stuff, but otherwise he should be good. Pazuzus. These guys are annoying. Pazuzus are always death proficient. I believe these guys also carry force magic, so even if I wanted to, I wouldn't have Argilla transform in this case. But a boosted Agudine just takes him out immediately. 13,000 Maka in the bank. I do want to be able to hunt some of these guys, because they actually get really great AP at this point. Alright, and another new enemy is Sparna over here. These guys are elect weak, but we don't really have access to that. So we'll just do a Megiddo to spread some damage around. And let's see how much Consume does on this guy. Not enough. We'll hit him with another Megiddo. That should finish off the Sparna, then I can just have Surf slap the Pazuzu next turn. Or now, actually, we can just have Heat go straight to Devouring. Blood Curse would be more worrying if we were actually doing any more damage at this point. I may as well Discurse him just so I don't have to worry about doing it after the fight's over. And we should be good on status cures for the entirety of this dungeon. There we go. And, of course, the fight gets more complicated. As always, these guys are weak to gun skills, rather, sorry. Losing my train of thought there. Let's see. No, I actually don't want to... What do I want to do here? No, I'll just pass. We'll do another Megiddo, take out those Spartas, and then Heat can consume the next Pazuzu next turn. And he basically just did the same thing. This is getting to be a repetitive battle, more than just the obvious reason. Let's get some HP restored. Alright, go for the nom-nom-noms here. There we go. Done like dinner. Oh, that actually got Heat very far along, Cruel Leader. I don't know if I specifically mentioned this, but AP Divide, despite the name, it actually does not reduce the AP that the characters hunting get from while hunting. There's no reduction for it being spread around, and the AP given out is just flatly more than you get from killing the enemies, so it's just a fantastic passive in this game. If you're planning on doing any hunting at all, you may as well have it set. And I mentioned this at the beginning of the Let's Play, but do not expect that for Digital Devil Saga 2. This skill got nerfed into the ground. Just gonna give that to Surf to give him a quick top off, and we'll give the other one to Cielo. There we go. I was tempted to give it to Heat or Argilla because they're in the active party, but I'm not gonna be using them for any of the bonus bosses, so that'd just be a waste. Hey, Grimikala. May as well make note of these guys so that we can encounter them here. Let's have Heat do a Mahama. Get these guys down just a little bit. Actually, that guy can be hunted now, so we'll just leave him as he is. Let Heat finish him off. This Bufudyne should take this guy out. Not really, but we should be fine. Now, Giramikali's, I believe they are extremely... Whoa. What? Well... Oh, that is a big boy. I have actually never seen this before. Okay, this is uncharted territory for me. Huh. I did not know that this could happen. Okay, that was unique. Well, that is a recorded instance of me seeing something that I have never seen before in this game. And more new enemies. But yeah, I'm surprised, you know, I'm on my final playthrough here, still seeing new stuff. Now, these Rakshasas here, that is not going to be a factor at all. Let's see. We're going to have Heat transform here. I'm going to have Argilla throw down a medical kit. Actually, I should have had her pass, and in that case, I'm going to have Surf transform. We're just going to go another round with these guys. Yeah, I played that turn pretty bad because I wasn't thinking. I should have had Argilla pass there and had Surf use the medical kit. That way I could have had Heat do a Mahama on the first turn. Alright, let's do that now. These guys are, of course, weak to Expel. They are very routinely weak to that. Sadly, I did not get too much out of that. Sometimes Rakshasas are resistant to fire. I don't know if they are in this game. They are not. Okay. And Mudon, will that hit? No, it did not. Alright, that's pretty good. Let's, Mediarama there. We'll just have Heat Mahama this guy. We'll have Argilla slap him. Then we'll pass it back around to Heat and have him devour the guy. Yeah, high counter is annoying, but not terribly threatening. Alright. Getting Heat that much closer to maxing out Cruel Leader. And Gale is good on Cherubim, so we'll get him on the Seraphim next. I might have Heat work on Hama skills himself, just so I could get Hamon on him, since that would be a lot better against the relatively frequent Hamon or Hama weak enemies in this game. Or this dungeon. Hey, Nidogger! This guy is also a returning enemy from a boss in Ajna. Let's take a look at what this guy can do. He's reasonably vulnerable to fire. Must have a very low magic stat. Let's see here. Anything I want to worry about? Allure could be threatening, but otherwise we should be fine. Just don't hit him with ice, and we should be golden. Actually, off of that, Heat should be able to devour this guy, so let's go for that. Do a Mediarama here. And let's eat this guy up. Getting... Ow, man. In that case, just die. I don't really want to play around with these guys. Last thing I need is for him to charm my entire party. Charm is the one ailment that I don't really have coverage for on this team, but it's such an uncommon... Hey, bonus strength. Not that that really matters. But yeah, Charm is such an uncommon ailment that I'm not too worried about it most of the time. Even if I do get tagged with it, I can probably manage. Alright, Heat is maxed out on Cruel Leader, so let's just get him set up on his stronger skills. Executioner, which is way stronger than Charm Slash, so gotta get that going. And Revelation, which is the first heavy damage multi-targeting. Getting into the really fancy stuff with skills now, Executioner in particular is the strongest physical attack in the game. There is one that's a bit more useful and versatile in every other battle, but as far as raw damage goes, Executioner is actually the hardest hitting one. Running into a lot of those Karma Temple soldiers. So I figured I'd mention in passing while we're exploring the Karma Temple, I have begun my personal playthrough of Digital Devil Saga 2 because I have my import-ready file. I'm hoping to do a couple playthroughs of that before I get to it in recording so that I can have everything hashed out for getting through the game as effectively as possible. Yeah, just confirm there that Gureme Kalas take a whopping 1 damage from Consume if they're not frightened, and ditto for Karma Temple soldiers, actually. Yeah, Phys-immune enemies, even though they can be hit by hunt skills, some of them are just ridiculously resistant to it. Now, the first section of the Karma Temple here is relatively simplistic. We've just got a bunch of stairwells to get through with some treasure off the beaten path, but it'll get more complicated as we get closer to the top. Some pretty devious puzzles towards the end, although not exactly terribly difficult ones. Okay, I believe for treasure we want to go this way, I think? Yes, we want to go this way. I was almost doubting myself for a second there, but then I noticed the node. Yeah, it kind of blends in with this deep purple background. Deep purple, but no smoke on the water. Let's see. We'll give the MP noise to Surf and Cielo. Cielo is probably going to be my preferred debilitator for the bulk of the game going forward, so I want him to have a good supply of MP to have at his disposal. Incidentally, if you have good luck, you can actually increase your MP pretty greatly in the later sections of the Karma Temple, for reasons that we'll get to when we get to that point. Haven't been able to do too much hunting so far. Just bad enemy configurations, it seems. Alright, now that we are out of the Sea of Milk area, we don't have new enemies, but we do have music. This is the Spider's String second movement. It is a fairly intense and epic track that is multi-part and changes as we progress through the dungeon. Now, before we head on, we've got the second large Karma Terminal here that we want to hit that up to activate it. And like I said, I'm going to switch Heat over to learning Expel Magic, just because it would be useful rather than I actually want him to work towards Null Death or anything. Let's see, Argilla's still working on hers. Well, actually, this one's cheaper and he'll complete it faster, so Gale will go on to Dark Spirit. And Cielo is done with his thing, so let's see here. Let's see, could get him working on Death Spirit, or... what do I want him to work on, actually? Now that's a conundrum. Let's, yeah, he's actually pretty set on what I want him to have, really. Guess I'll just have him work on Soul for the time being until I can think of a better thing. Probably do want him to work on Healing Magic after a point, but I actually want to get a good supply of money before we start doing that. And we'll probably get to a point where we can do that well once we start liquidating our cells again. That Fusion Cell in particular will get us a nice chunk of change, and there's various others that we can get throughout this area. Not going to end it just yet. I think with the editing, I think we can go for a few more minutes of good footage. Besides, this is a very, very long dungeon, so probably gonna have to do some decently sizable parts to make good headway on it. But yeah, this song, I definitely recommend looking up the full version of it that mixes all the parts together, because it's a pretty grand track in my humble opinion, and that was actually a pretty protracted encounter that I got into that had a unique enemy come in as reinforcements, but I thought it would have been a little awkward to edit into it. Plus, that gave me a chance to feel it out and figure out how it works before trying to fight it on camera. And they'll become a regular enemy later on anyway. Alright, been a while since we've seen some yellow key walls. I think the only wall we saw in Ajna was a red wall. Okay. For this purple node. And this one we've got Great Chakra, very nice. Actually, before we go on, I actually do want to set Cielo with Debilitate, just in case the upcoming fight turns out to be a problematic one and I need to bring him in as an emergency problem solver. Okay. Oh hey, this is the guy that I ran into. This is Ganesha. He has a pretty high HP, is resistant to force, so unfortunately Argilla can't do much, and by resistant I mean he drains it. And he has the ultimate physical skill in the game, Ragnarok. Ragnarok hits all parties with almighty-typed physical damage, and it is quite the slobber knocker, we'll say. He didn't get a chance to do anything. I was trying to set up for a consume, but his HP was a little too low. Oh well. Now, beyond this yellow wall, and there's a very particular reason that I set Cielo up, and honestly, I may just bring him into this fight that's coming up, just because I might need his assistance to make sure things don't go too nasty. Alright, we got an ammo node here, and yeah, we're just gonna break the Dream Team for a moment to get Cielo in here. Go with this, and it actually will keep heat. This might surprise you. But we're going to open this up. And we've got Samael, was probably one of the most hated enemies in the game. Here's what Samael does. Oof. And Ma Revert. Oh, that's oof. Nasty. Alright, that actually makes things a little tricky. Yeah, unfortunately I can't really risk too much. We're gonna do a Secunda here, just to bring his agility down a little bit. Now thankfully, this guy's primary attacks are physical attacks, and Heat is rocking Fizz Resist, so he should have good odds surviving that. Alright, that's good. That's what I was hoping for. Now we're just gonna let Surf pass here, and let things go back around Cielo. Heat, on the other hand, will actually launch an attack. He'll go Executioner. And Cielo, we want to start getting Debilitate onto this guy to greatly defang him. Yeah, Samaels are extremely nasty. Go. Start debilitating him some more. Gets a Medea Rama up to top us off. Get another Executioner going. Yeah, as you can see, this guy's got pretty good physical resistance, but not too bad. And now we got Debilitate set up pretty well on him, so now let's start going in on the offensive. There we go. That's much better than what Heat was managing with Executioner. Well, that critical was nice. There we go. But yeah, as you can see, not only that Samael was incredibly difficult to beat, look at that absolutely awful EXP and Maka we got for beating it. Everybody who's played this game absolutely hates these things. And no, you don't even get good AP for hunting them either. They actually have very low AP yield for their strength. But yeah, the Samael's extremely dangerous. They give very little reward for fighting them. And one infamous side area, Nier constantly has two of them come in as reinforcements, and it's, one of the guides I've read just outright recommends you run from fighting them because they're so unfun to fight. But, when I get around to them, I probably will just fight them every time because I don't know how to have fun. But, for what it's worth... Oh hey, Titania! This is the first time we can run into her randomly, okay. As I was just saying, for what it's worth, when we do actually get to that point, we will be much better set to actually fight them. So Titania, as you remember, nulls nearly everything except Earth, so we'll hit her with that. That was pretty lousy. We'll hit her with Executioner. There we go. That's more like it. Alright. Now, Titanias are actually central to a pretty famous grinding area in this game, but, well, we're not quite there yet, but we soon will be. Just, keep Titania in mind. Also, if you're lucky, like I actually just was right there, they can drop theory cells, which sell for a nice chunk of change. Sorry, my speech impediment is at an all-time low right now. Okay, there's a side area off that way if we continue down the hall that will allow us to get some treasure, but we're also at a terminal here, and I think this video's run long enough. So, once again, we'll just get set up on our mantras. And Surf is, of course, mastered on Seraphim, so we'll get him going on Death, and then we'll need a chunk of Maca. Sorry, I just got a message there. We'll get a chunk of Maca afterwards to hopefully get Evil God set on Surf. I actually just wanted Heat to get Hamon. So, next up... well, this is all a little too expensive. I guess I'll just have him work on random mantras just so he's working on something. Let's see, Argilla, she's good on Fire Emperor, so we'll also have her work towards getting some Hama skills just to have them at her disposal. Let's see, Gale, he has mastered his. He's going to work on Seraphim. And Cielo, you're doing what you're doing. Alright, we're all set there. And we'll save our game now. Alright, all worked out. And we'll save here. So, we made some pretty good progress on the Karma Temple to start, and when we come back, we will be going through even more of it. So I hope to see you next time, as always, and I hope you enjoyed watching. But until then, goodbye.